You don't have a top striker now. And I'm reminding you, there's only 5 world-class strikers. Now, you as representing the Arsenal fan base, you want a top striker. But you look at the market, and the market is when something is available. Keyword is available, which means it wants out. It's not there. So now what you are saying is like, okay, if it's not there, now I have to overpay to get something. But it's called the transfer market, and the player needs to be available. You look at the players that you got. You got Ozil. Ozil wanted out. And the only reason we got Ozil was because of the chain reaction of the Bale deal.
Which is fine.
And I'm fine with that. Sanchez wanted out as well, because Neymar actually delivered. We got Sanchez.
Okay, but then this is what you're missing. The whole point of the transfer market. No club, if you give an analysis like that, then you're making the assumption that everybody that leaves your club is because they really want to leave their club, or the club wants to really let them go. No club wants to let go of some of their best players. I don't care if it's for being compliant in terms of the EFF, the FIFA rules or the FIFA financial fair play regulations. But nobody wants to let go of their best players. I'm pretty sure if Ozil said he didn't want to leave, he would have stayed, and they would have been useful some way or the other. Same thing with Alexis. So the question now is, other clubs, when you look at the guys that are signing for Manchester United, a Chelsea, a Man City, do they really want to leave their clubs? Do people want to leave Atletico Madrid, a perennial Champions League guaranteed team, a Champions League at least semi-final guaranteed team, to come to a team that hasn't proven itself in the Champions League yet? Hold that thought. Do you also want to leave a team that is 9-time champions to come to a team that hasn't won a title in 9 years? Do you think a player would say yes to that deal? No. You have to come in with the money to say, I am serious about taking this guy off you. It's just like going to take a guy's girl off a guy. You're not going to go there with whack lines, barely enough money to even pay for your own goddamn drinks, to think that I'm going to take this girl away from her man. You have to come in with probably the sweetest poetry of all time to do that. But you're talking about players you're talking about players in a business where money talks and everything else walks. If you don't have the money to say, I want you today, right now, you're not doing business with anybody. I don't care what degrees you have in economics. You're not doing business in this modern day of time. Even Wenger has admitted there is an inflation in the football game. Guys that were worth 15 million back then are worth 44 million right now. Guys that were worth 6 million back then are worth 15. For Christ's sakes, we live in a world where Johnny fucking Evans is worth 25 fucking million.
It's true.
And if we were if we can agree to that, if we can agree to the fact that Johnny Evans is worth 25 million.
Mind you, he's worth 5 maybe at best.
Thank you. We're probably worth even 3.5 if you ask me. But that's just me being an economist about my own money. If Johnny, who's really worth 5 million, is worth 25, Mustafi is worth 50. Do you really think we have the right to argue that number? No. Just pay the money, get your player. Simple and short. If you're saying a Simon Kaya goes for 15 million, then I have to question how good he is as a player, or how good his worth as a player. Because if Johnny Evans is worth 25 million, which is more than what he's worth, then how can we argue that number?
My thing is, it's always been supply versus demand. You look at El Nini, we paid 2 million. The way that this man plays, 30 million at least, and still rising right now.
But the thing is,
you look at Rob Holding. He's been like what? I think also around between 2 to 5 million. Sorry for being unquote with the price, but it's still low. These are low prices that we're talking about that have the potential, if things go right for them, obviously, on the projected chart that we all have as players and fans.
But isn't that
potential?
To close it out, basically, CJ, what I would say is this, as an Arsenal fan, and I'll be realistic, if we get top 4, it is something to celebrate, to be honest. And if it is Wenger's last season, then kudos to him for finishing 4th. Personally, do I think that we're going to finish 4th? I hope so. I personally do hope so. If we get the right players, then we might. If we get another center back and a proper striker, not half-patch Giroud that we have.
He's only there because of the Puma thing. I'll wrap that up with that.
But if we get the guys that we need to succeed in this game, then I see Arsenal going far above a fourth place finish, maybe even at best, maybe finish somewhere in the second or first position.
With me, and I look at Arsenal and I see this every single time. Us fans know what this potential of this team is. We look at all these other teams and there's this click moment. And with Arsenal, you almost see like, you know how I snap my fingers? It's like, why can't we snap? I really feel that if things come together well, regardless of whether we get the top strength or whether we have the we still have a good squad. Is it good enough to win the league? No. If the squad clicks, is it good enough to win the league? Yes. I'm not here trying to make this argument to say like, oh, we don't need to sign top sides, but also appreciate what you have. It's like a game of poker. You don't ask for a 6 card. You deal with the hands that you're dealt with. Right now, you deal with that. If Wenger makes a sign tomorrow and we get that top striker or that guy that has the ingredients of a top striker, kudos to him. But the fact is, you deal with the hands. He's trying to let us up top. If Alexis cooks us for the next 36 games and becomes the Aguero Suarez, none of you guys are talking about the past 10 years. Period. And I'm going to quote you guys all on that.
For the record, I'll still be talking about the last 10, 12 years.
That's because you're a real Arsenal fan, you're a realist. Me, I also am, but as I like to say, I take it game by game, just like you do. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Cheers, mate.